So we're going to talk about real-world engagement. John and I are failing retirement, and during COVID we met, trying to figure out how to use Zoom and meet some of the needs of organizations we were with. I was helping CSU even though I was retired from Cal State Monterey Bay. And when I was teaching at Cal State Monterey Bay, and I was doing distance learning and stuff, nobody had any interest. I should say didn't have any interest. Where's Jeff and the CSU crew? But it was that weird Idelson. And all once COVID hit, and everybody said, wasn't there this guy who talked about how you did online stuff? But John was also in a situation of trying to figure things out, and we met online in a thing called office hours, so that's how we connected. Since then, we've been collaborating on real-world experiences of using technology. So I'm going to do my disclaimer. This is a little bit like the people that did the disclaimers around the dirty words. How many are Apple fan people here? Okay, how many are stuck in the Windows? I mean, work in the Windows world. Okay, so guys in the Windows world, you could put your head down on the table. We'll wake you up when it's over. No.
Everybody who has a Mac or uses PCs, they know somebody who uses Macs. So this does work for people you know.
Okay. But we have it's a little more complicated here. We have one setup here, which we'll do for the unconference, and one setup we have here, which sort of looks like Frankenstein. But basically, everything we're showing here today works with a combining of a MacBook, an iPhone, and an iPad. This has everything that when in 1978 we were doing the slow scan television required multiple engineers, multiple pieces of equipment, hours of preparation, and it barely worked the time that we did it. So does anybody remember this cartoon? Yeah, that's the classic. On the internet, nobody knows you're a dog. When you have a face like mine, you like the fact that nobody saw who you were on the internet. Then we have this, but now the damn camera, everybody knows you're a dog. That changed from, the internet was not rich media to being rich media changed, but we gave us new tricks, but my statement here is sort of old tricks, young fellow, have served you well. We're the old folks, and the old tricks that we've used throughout. But we now do all those old tricks electronically. When I started teaching, we had transparencies. Anybody remember what those were like? Okay. Dechi. Your password here is Dechi Carpet. Back in the original days, they didn't have carpet. It was dirt roads that the Dechi people were pushing carts. And we had to make that transition. The basement of Chico State, almost half of it was a film library storage area that then went to post office trucks would come by to send the films that they were doing for Northern California schools. That whole space has now become basically a server room for all the stuff that's happening on campus. Okay, today John and I are going to demonstrate some technologies that we've been using on a regular basis. John has created some 100 videos. We have been working with a developer in England, and we have people working with us in Australia because of the world has shrunk because of technology. And then we hope that by the end of this, during the unconference, you'll like to come and sit down and try to use this demonstration tool. Many of you probably were here when we had regular classrooms. Does anybody know how long it's been since we've had smart classrooms? How many have smart classrooms? Yeah, a smart classroom that the lights turn on, you can get a projector. Now these are going to be highly interactive classrooms. John, I'll let you take over.
Thank you, John. So we're going to run through a few videos of the system and work. And the idea, like last night I was talking to my table about I live 2 blocks off the Stanford campus for 40 years in the same house. And in that time, I've seen students change from carrying books to what I call doing yoga. And what I mean by yoga is this is prayer pose. And then this one, that is the walking prayer pose. Right? And that's how they connect. They are on the phone with they're speaking German to their parents. They're speaking with their colleagues. They're looking at social media. They're on this device. Guess what? You're not. They're not looking at you. So the purpose of this talk is to make it approachable for you to consider being on their device regularly, just like their parents, just like their friends, using the same tools the TikTokers are using and all the others. And these tools are now within the realm of personal budgets. So when I say a fully loaded system that is like over there, that's with teleprompters and lights and stands. But if you have a Mac and an iPad and an iPhone, it's free, okay? And at the end of this talk, we'll put up a QR code where you tell them you're with Deci, and you're a gold-plated member, so to speak, with the developer. And you download the software for free, use it, connect with him. He wants to know what you need. Because honestly, John came to me way back when I was doing stuff at the Rotary Club in San Jose, and we had an ACAM switcher and PTZ cameras and sound system and all that. We spent $60,000 on. Well, this is a fraction of the cost to do the same kind of things that we do there. So with that, I'm going to go. You're going to have to put up with my first video. It's me, but it's just walking through the system.
This is a fairly comprehensive gear review to show what I use when I make recordings using CueCam, Shoot, Video Pencil, and the rest of the gear here. First, let's take a look at the rigging. And this light up here is from Elgato, and it does a great job at getting illumination across the green screen behind me. The green screen is from Elgato, and it's wide enough and it scrolls up from the floor. The stand holding the light is from Newer, and it's got a sort of an arm to it, and it's pretty heavy duty, fixes to this table, which is adjustable in height and has rollers on it. And then I use small rig magic arms, this one here and here for the iPads. And this one is a lighter weight one that I use to handle my microphone and audio assembly. That brings up the system that I'm actually using here, which is built around an M1 MacBook Pro and an M4 iPad Pro, which is running Shoot. And then I also have a smaller iPad Mini 6 that I use for Video Pencil. So CueCam's on the Macintosh, and it ties everything together. In addition, I've got the Shure interface to my mic unit, and it takes the XLR signal out of my microphone and converts it into USB, and from there I manage the whole thing in CueCam. I use a Rode NT3 microphone, which is great, but right now, of course, I'm using the DJI wireless mic because it's connected to the Osmo Pocket webcam. And over here we have an old iPhone 12, which also is running Shoot and is connected into CueCam. And finally, we have a Uni Accessories Hub 8-in-1, which sends power and signal coordination to the two iPads, also to that Shoot camera. This is coming from the iPhone 12, and you can see over there is where we were before. That's the Osmo Pocket 3, and it's connected as a as a wired webcam, which was giving us both the audio and that video picture. And behind, you can see there's not much. It's an empty desk. And I've just got USB-C for the Osmo, USB-C for the microphone rig, and my headphone output. And on the other side is just the Uni 8-in-1 connector coming into my Macintosh. I'm running program feed to both my video pencil there and to my iPad there. So let's go to that iPad. And here I am in front of the green screen, and I'm running Shoot. Very simple, the same tool that's running on the iPhone. And there you have it. That is what I've got in front of me on a daily basis. It generates these videos with a coordination to the story that I'm trying to tell. I hope you find it valuable.
Okay, so the implications of this, one is cost. It's cheap. Two, it's mobile. It takes me 20 minutes to set up from my house to here to classroom, whatever. And it's plug and play. I use anybody's software. Any screen that I can have on my Macintosh, I can share. I don't have to ask permission on Zoom. It comes through as a camera or into an ATEM like we're doing now. It's just a camera feed. And of course, training. People already know how to use the apps. They can use this.
So what I have here is I have this on loop when I'm working with them, and right now it's at 100% speed, which is fine. I'd point out a couple things about me starting out in behind the mat. I'd talk about maybe the arm coming down here at an angle that is below parallel. As we go through, then we'll add certain things to there. So I look at this and I look at the starting point of my head. And then when we finish, I look at the ending point, and you can see that the line came straight down to from the top of the delivery to the bottom. There was no jerkiness to it. I look at the backswing where it finishes, which is right at the back of the foot. And then there's another key component, two of them actually here.
So I'm stopping this right there just to give you an idea that this is a champion lawn bowler. He's in Canada. He's on a Zoom call with a developer who's in Scotland. And he's describing using this software to the developer back. He's saying, this is how I train people to be more effective lawn bowlers. And he's using drawing tools on top of the video that's looping to be able to specifically draw attention to what he's talking about. And he's putting up text about what the overall presentation's about. He's not touching the video. The video asset he can reuse, and in other conversations, he can have completely different overlays that he's putting up there in real time.
So John, I want to step in for that. So when you looked at that video, you had a video of the instructor. The Telestration, or the John Madden football, was done on the iPad tablet with a thing called Video Pencil. And you saw the blue lines which he was able to add. The text that you saw there was just text typed into the CueCam presenter. So what we had was a video image with Telestration and text and audio integration. And it was over a Zoom call, but like we're doing here, we could do the same thing here, hybrid. So what everything we're doing here and showing could be, in fact, being distributed remotely.
Yep. And one additional piece, since you're talking about it, there was a little picture-in-picture in that. You may not have seen it, but the guy in Canada who's producing and drawing, his live video feeds coming through as well. So here's another.
And so I've been using the Shoot app as my primary camera now for at least 2.5 years, if not longer. And I have upgraded my iPhone from the XS Max to the 13. And it is amazing the things that I've been able to do, looking pretty good, where I'm a participant in office hours, and I know I don't look as good as some of those people with those high-end cameras, but I don't look bad.
So we're going to tell you who we have here. Tony is in Macon, Georgia. He's an educator. He's also active in the church. And during COVID, they switched from face-to-face events to online. They realized that their online engagement was not as good as they would like it to be, so they tried to figure out how to improve how they do it. Michael Forrest, who you saw there, said, well, I've got iPhones, and he developed a program called Shoot that lets you use your iPhone to be your video camera.
The guy in the front is the developer in Scotland, and he's got a green screen, so his presence is a little bit larger than the picture-in-picture before. And we can just go to the, how's our time? Yeah, so let's go to the next. And this idea is my group, which is the Rotary Club in San Jose. We have a roving camera, so this camera that shoot can be wired or not. And so we have speakers come and they do questions using our roving camera.
Thank you so much for your talk, and really glad to have you in Rotary. My question is around the environmental impact of AI. I've heard that the average Google search now is 7 times more energy consumptive, if that's a word, because of the AI feature that they've added. I'm curious just the legislation that connects back to climate and how AI could be a part of the solution.
Yeah, very good question. These are good questions. Okay. They don't take it easy on members up here, apparently.
So the idea is the engagement level has changed dramatically in that Rotary Club since we started having people on camera. They used to ask questions and you'd see the back of their head. Now they know they're on camera. It's going to be sent out to Zoom. It's going to be archived on YouTube. They dress better. They present themselves better. They're more articulate, and we're growing dramatically. So resources that are available, we've got,
Get to resources.
we've got 2 minutes.
We'll make it.
All right.
I just want to say, the facility that they did at the Rotary, as John mentioned, $60,000 in AV equipment to be able to just show 2 screens and a PA system now is all done with an iPhone, an iPad, and a Mac computer. A little exercise.
Yeah, no, we still have those PTZs. I mean, that stuff's, the stuff in the back of the box, that's expensive. It's really good gear. You can rely on it. This stuff, it's PCs. So you're gonna, we're looking for you to play with it and learn it, and it's gonna get better over time, but we're at a tipping point where the AV capabilities that used to be uniquely in those boxes is now able to be processed in real time in these boxes. And so that tipping point you can be a part of, and your organizations will need help in transitioning to this. So we have a whole bunch of videos that we can give, and we have this, quickie. All right, so if you're interested, come up and talk to us. The system's working up here, it's working down there. And if you have questions, we would love to engage now with whatever you might want to talk about. It looks like a rat?
It looks rad.
Oh, it is rad. This developer, by the way, it used to take an army of people to build something like this. And this is a single practitioner. He used to be a music DJ doing electronic stuff in the clubs, putting up video and whatever. And John and I have been working with him about, John says, what about presentations for classrooms? Oh, I'd love to do that. And my contribution was basically say, I need 3 cameras. I want to have a shot of my face, I want to have an over-the-shoulder shot, and I want to have something coming off the screen, anything that's coming there.
And he comes back and says, well, gee, you'd want sound also. I go, oh, yes, absolutely. So it's your ability to specify what you need is really the requirement. If you can work and articulate exactly why it's important for him to build what he's building, he will build it. And he's remarkably quick and updating things and adjusting and learning what your use case is and building for you. So I feel that this has been built custom for me because I've been the guy sort of building these softwares, giving him feedback, and I'm ready to pass the baton to you guys, and I'm delighted to be here and would love to get to know you better.
And I want to thank you also for living through some of our technical challenges here. My wife is extremely excited about this because I use a whole spare bedroom with all my gear and my equipment. And John came over with his bag and this equipment and does everything that does. So my wife claims that I have a month till she can reclaim the room. On that note, I am standing between you and a raffle. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share with you.
Thank you.